Welcome back in. They are bold, they're brilliant, and they are back in action. The San Francisco Mime Troupe is kicking off their 66th season with a brand new musical comedy that takes on politics with humor, heart, and a whole lot of satire. Here to tell us all about it is the show's writer, director, and one of the stars, Michael Gene Sullivan. Michael, welcome to Live in the Bay.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me,
I'm
Rachel.
so excited to have you. It seems like you wear a lot of hats in this show.
Yes, I do.
Tell me about the show.
Well, disruption is really about kind of what we're going through right now. Our country is being disrupted. Our lives are being disrupted. You know, the Constitution is being disrupted. All these things that we need for daily life. And not only is it about that disruption, but how do we disrupt that disruption? And then musical comedy.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, tell me how many people are involved in this production, how many actors are there versus like people who it takes to put this all together?
Well, it is a musical. So like I tell people about Mime Troupe shows, if they haven't seen one, it's like seeing a Broadway show, only it's really small and it has a point.
Okay.
This show has a 4-person cast, 3-person live band. There's a half hour of music before the show. And the show is going to be about 1 hour and 15 long. It's in the parks, so you can come out and have a picnic first, wait, listen to the music, see the show, hang out with your friends.
Okay, wonderful. And how do you decide what kind of music goes along with the show that you're putting on?
That is a really good question. Our composer lyricist, Daniel Savio, this year he came to me and he said, Michael, I want to write the show with more than musical theater music. So, like, I have a big song in it, which is kind of operatic. And then there's another song, another character. So my character is operatic, another character is musical theater, another character is doing jazz. And so the show shifts between these different styles because it's the story of 3 different people in San Francisco. One of them is a son of immigrants who is worried about what's going to happen to him and just trying to live his life helping other people who are struggling. And another character that I play is a police officer from the East Coast who's not really thrilled with California, if you know what I mean.
Typical East Coasters, don't like the Californians.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talk about us. But he's trying to figure out how to be a police officer and what he wanted to do as a police officer and what he's being asked to do, which is a struggle for him. And then another character, the kind of the more jazzy character, is someone who is a Silicon Valley superstar at raising money, but now put in charge of governmental things, which is a completely different thing. A for-profit, whereas government is a non-profit organization. So she's struggling with, how do I make this work? And so these 3 characters in modern-day San Francisco and how their lives overlap and when do they see each other and what are they going to do to make the world a better place?
I see. It sounds so cool. Now that you describe it, I'm so excited for people to see this, and it's free, right?
Yes, Mime Troupe shows are always free. Well, okay, almost always free. Sometimes we do indoor shows because some of our audience, we've been around for 66 years. So some of our audience doesn't want to sit in the park anymore. So we will do some indoor shows with seats, but most of our shows are free because we don't take corporate sponsorships. And, you know, we get some money from the National Endowment, from the different foundations and families. We ask for donations after the show. As a professional Tony Award-winning theater company, we got to raise that money.
Hopefully, yes, people contribute generously. All right, I see that you are in the show yourself. Tell me, what is it like for you to kind of be on both sides of the camera here? You're behind the scenes, and then you're also in front of in front of everyone.
It is not easy.
I bet.
I'm very fortunate that not only we're working with Daniel, but also I have an assistant director, Hugo Carbajal, who's a wonderful actor and director. So he's kind of being my outside eye. And so it's like, I'm in rehearsal, I'm rehearsing my lines, learning my songs, then I have to watch the other scenes, and I have to go home and continue to write the show.
Oh my goodness.
Because our shows are very topical. So I have not finished writing the very last scene yet.
Wow.
We open 4th of July, and that's where I will be on the 4th of July.
Hopefully it'll be fully written by then.
Oh yeah, we'll be done. I'm gonna finish it tonight. And we have to have one more song that's gonna go in. Because we don't want to, as a theater of topical political comedy, we can't write things too far out. I mean, if I'd written this show back in March, it would be about something completely different. So we always have to try to stay just ahead of the news, which is exceptionally difficult in these times.
Yeah, it's so hard. I cannot even imagine how tough it is for you guys to do it. So I want to go back in time a little bit and tell me how you started in theater. Tell me your origin story as an actor.
Well, I'm from San Francisco. I'm one of those people. And I went to, I went to elementary school, lived all over the city, and I went to Roosevelt Middle School. In those days, junior high. And one day, a transfer student walked in, and she was gorgeous. Valina Brown. And she came in and I was a drummer. She played French horn. And I had a crush on her, but was too shy to say anything, which is weird for anybody who knows me to think I would ever shut up that long.
Yeah.
We went to Washington High School together. And then she was an actor. And she was in a little theater company. And to be closer to her, I auditioned for the theater company and got in. And that was it. Ruined for life.
Oh my gosh,
and
how
then
cute.
And so we started dating a few years after that. We got married. We have a son. Valina is part of the theater company, the Mime Troupe. She's directed a few of our shows and been in a bunch of them. She was in the last one we did, Red Carol at Christmas. So it's wonderful to be able to work with the person I love so much and spend that much time with her.
How fun. Okay, amazing. Now, if anyone wants to get involved, if someone's watching today and they want to be an actor, they want to do theater, any advice for them?
Never give up.
Oh, okay.
That's the main thing. One thing I tell people sometimes is don't have a plan B, because if you have a plan B, you'll do the plan B. Don't do that.
Ooh, okay.
And always think about not trying to be a star.
Right.
Try to make a living. I've made my living in theater all of my adult life.
Wow.
Between writing, directing, acting, teaching, I've had those opportunities because I was never like trying to get the big house or anything. But I live here. My wife is an actor and she lives here. So it's really about making sure you're always saying something that really is important to you. Don't just take gigs to have gigs.
Right.
Do something like, if you got hit by a truck tomorrow, would you have been proud of the day before?
Yeah.
You know? And don't smoke. And don't drink, because they're counterproductive to your instrument.
That's true.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one for a lot of people.
It's hard to accept. All right, Michael, thank you so much. One last time, where can people come and see the show?
The show will be in different parks around the Bay Area. It'll be in Lake Merritt. We open 4th of July, Dolores Park. They want a full schedule. They go to sfmt.org, and it has a schedule, history of the company, clips from old shows, and a way to donate.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. So fun to have you.
Thank you,
Break a leg out there. Have a great time.
Thanks a lot, Rachel.